Taxpayer money used to buy concert tickets. We told you about the purchases made by city leaders in Hidalgo yesterday.
We learned about it through a tip. City leaders hesitant at first to release purchase records. Here's Channel 5's Valerie Gonzalez with why they had to and why you can trust sharing information with us.
On October 24th, we sent a request to the city of Hidalgo for specific purchase orders. 4 days later, the finance director responded with this letter saying, "We are in process of obtaining this information, but the city of Hidalgo is requesting that you provide us information on how you were able to access our system files in order to request the specific PO numbers in the request." Except they can't do this. We responded explaining that the Texas Public Information Act restricts what they can ask. One thing they can't ask is for sources. There's also something else that allows us to protect our sources, and that's called the SHIELD laws. Those allow us to protect you, our sources, even when threatened with prison time. In the early 2000s, journalist Lance Williams and criminology professor Vanessa Leggett were investigating separate stories you may have heard about.
It involved the baseball home run king Barry Bonds and about 30 other elite athletes.
In Houston, Leggett was working a criminal case.
It was a murder for hire case, and I interviewed the triggerman in the crime who died after our last interview, and also interviewed the man who hired him.
Williams reported with another journalist. Together they found what wasn't common knowledge at the time: banned drug use among athletes. They obtained sealed court testimony where athletes admitted to using steroids.
The government wanted to know who provided the documents to us, and we just couldn't tell them because they were provided by a confidential source. And so we got into some trouble.
Vanessa Leggett faced similar trouble after interviewing the triggerman in a murder-for-hire case.
The Justice Department came after me, ironically, not for those interviews, but for other interviews, including interviews with those law enforcement agents and prosecutors.
Both were asked to reveal sources and documents entrusted to them. At the time, the laws were different. Currently, there are protections for journalists to protect the people who trust them with information. Melissa Wasser explains.
Texas has a really good SHIELD law since 2009. It gives journalists a qualified privilege, so that means that they are able to protect the sources and the confidentiality of the sources that they work with in order to tell stories and serve the public's right to know.
Wasser is a policy analyst for Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press. She says these protections are broad, but limits do exist.
Because it's not an absolute privilege, there are certain circumstances in which you may have to release that source, but it's not until they clear a high bar.
Lance Williams and his reporting partner were sentenced to 18 months in prison. They didn't serve the time because the source pleaded guilty to leaking the testimony. Leggett spent 168 days in jail even after she released some information. Both say they stand by their decisions.
And so I think it's really imperative that we make it clear that we will protect our sources at all costs. And I think if any one of us falls in that regard, it hurts journalism as a whole.
Bottom line, if you trust a journalist with information, there are laws that allows us to protect you. We will be sharing a link to the SHIELD laws in Texas along with this story on our website. If you have any information that you want to share with us, you can always email us, call us, or reach out to us on social media. In the studio, Valerie Gonzalez, Channel 5 News at 6.